Alrighty guys, Azdik here, bringing you guys another Dragon Ball Legends PvE guide. Okay, so we haven't actually done one of these in a long time, and so we're going to go ahead and immediately jump into the co-op event. And I'm going to go ahead and do my top 5 units. I hate when these videos tend to drag out or they tend to be a little bit long, so we're going to try to get through this as quickly as possible. I want to go ahead and throw out my top 5 units, but before we do that, I do want to say is that my top 5 units are going to be drastically different from a lot of other people's top 5 units. My top 5 units are on a different scale. So my top 5 units are basically based on, they basically go on a scale of free-to-play friendly units who are also very good at the co-op event, right? So say like, just for like an example, say like the Demon King Piccolo event came out, the co-op event. Of course, the Cloud Goku, or the Cloud Cube, the Zenkai 7 Kid Goku from the Dragon Ball Saga, the Legends Road one, right? He would obviously he would be #1 in my book, because not only is it a free-to-play unit, but the event was practically catered to him. It was specifically kind of like made for him, right? They wanted you to use him in that co-op event. So that's kind of like how my scale works. Obviously, it's very opinion-based. What the things that I say isn't exactly fact. So let's go ahead and hop into it really quickly and go over it just a little bit. So we have BROLY. I do want to talk about BROLY. So he's purple, right? He's the LF BROLY. He has a damage. He basically has everything that the actual LF BROLY does when it comes to kit, right? He has a damage boost against Saiyans. He does all that crazy. He has blue card Feign to you, which is very, very annoying, and he just does a ton of damage. Like even to yellow units, he does a ton of damage. So that's basically what you get hopping into it right here. We are going to go ahead and be looking over everything I'm saying is based on the full power, or at the advanced stage, right? And so we go ahead, we're going to go ahead and scroll down. We know he's the advantageous element is yellow, of course. And so we goes to the battle bonus character tags. So these are very important, and these are always something that you want to look for, especially when you're hopping into here. So we have the battle bonus character tags, we have Fusion Warrior, we have God Key, we have Powerful Opponent, and we have sagas from the movies. So kind of a little bit of slim pickings, right? It's not a massive catalog. If you guys were here for the raid video, you guys would know that in the raid, in the BROLY raid, there was a ton of boost units, There's like element boost, there is specific card boost, there is character boosts, like there is just so many boosts. But on here, it's not as vast as that. So you know, let's go ahead and get it right into the list.
Number 5.
Alright, so coming in at number 5, and yes, this might be a little bit controversial. Number 5 is going to be Gogeta Blue, and so I'm going to give a reason why he's number 5. So obviously, in terms of just everything, throwing everything else out the window, on a standard top 5 list, this guy would easily be number 1, right? He's easily number 1. Like I said, the co-op events, they usually have someone that they kind of like cater the event towards, and BROLY being purple, you know, Gogeta being the one that takes him out in the movie, that's literally canon, right? So this guy is definitely built for it, for sure. He also gets 2 out of the 4 buffs, right? So he has, not only does he have God Key, but he has Fusion Warrior. So he's getting like all those buffs and stuff like that. I think it's like almost like he gets the 50% from God Key, he gets the 50% from Fusion Warrior, right? So he just absolutely shreds. He has like a ton of, if you guys are going into this co-op match with this guy could probably just carry it, right? And that's just how it is. You know, he does got all these like damage buffs and stuff like that. He kind of just melts BROLY for the most part. Like it's just, I don't know. It's definitely going on easy mode. The only reason why he's number 5 for us, for the channel, is because he's an LF unit. That's basically it. There's going to be a lot of people out there that don't really have this guy, and I don't know if it's just me. Maybe it's just co-op. But you know, there's a lot of times where I don't run into this guy into co-op a lot, because you know, maybe some people don't have him. You know, you do have your co-op players that won't even bring type advantage into it. You know, there's a lot of stuff there. So that being said, like if this guy comes in as your buddy, or if you have him, like 100% use this guy for sure. The only reason, like I said, the only reason why he is so low on the rankings for me is because he's so hard to obtain.
Number 4.
Right, number 4. So number 4 is going to go ahead and be Super Saiyan God Vegeta. Okay, so this guy, he's number 4 because I feel like, so with the Zenkai boost, right, he becomes incredibly better. All his stats become increased, like all his stats get increased with the Zenkai, right? And so he just becomes a very viable unit for this, especially because he has 2 of the tags. So he has the God Key tag, and he has the sagas from the movies tag, right? So that's really good. That's one of the main reasons why I think he is very, because he can tank and stuff like that, and then on cover change he can interrupt the combo if need be, right? And then so for the God Key, he gets the inflicted damage up by 50%, and then from the sagas from the movies, he gets it up by 15%. So the reason why he's number 4 is because the sagas from the movies tag, the bonus or the battle bonus is not that great. So you only get a 15% damage increase, and you only get a 5% damage cut. But because of the fact that he is a Zenkai, he's definitely like he's definitely viable, right? Especially if you have him at 14 stars, or you have him at just high stars in general, especially with the Zenkai on top of that, like you're gonna be a-okay. The reason why he's number 4 though is because I don't think I've played this event. I played this co-op specifically with unzenkai'd Super Saiyan God Vegetas before, and I just don't think it's that great. I actually have gameplay up right here, and of this Zenkai Vegeta that is mine, or this Super Saiyan God Vegeta that is mine, is not Zenkai'd here. So, you know, not the best, but also not the worst. So let's go ahead and move on.
Number 3.
Alrighty, number 3. So I really do think that this guy is underrated, right? I do really think that this guy's underrated. I think that there's a lot of people, because this is who I was running first. When this event first came out, this is who I was running, and I did have some people DC on, or not DC, but they would disband against me when they saw my Champa. I think maybe it's because of my lack of stars, but you know, it just be like that sometimes. He does have the God Key tag, and that's pretty much it, right? So out of the 4 on the battle bonuses, he only has God Key. If he had powerful opponent, man, I think he would be a lot better. I think he'd actually be ranked a little bit higher, right? But he does a lot of good stuff. Like, he has a heal, he can break his opponent's cards and stuff like that, and he does decent damage, right? He's not bad at all. But like I said, he only has 1 tag, and even just with 1 tag like that, like he does pretty darn good. You know, I don't think he's bad at all. He gets, like I said, God Key and Fusion Warriors are the main tags that you want to be looking for in here because they have the biggest buffs. So just because of this guy getting God Key and him just being one of the relatively more newer units, he actually does a pretty good job at taking Broly down, right?
Number 2.
Right, number 2. Okay, so for number 2, I think this one's pretty obvious as well. The reason why, too, is that for number 2, we have the transforming Super Vegito. Yes. Okay, so this guy is actually extremely good. Honestly, it's always been a breeze whenever this guy comes into battle. Whenever I see this guy come into battle, right? Because the main reason why is because every time he uses a strike or a blast card, you get 10% to your special move damage inflicted for 15 timer counts, right? And so that's pretty huge because you'd pull a blue card on your main, so you have a damage stack. And so when you have a damage stacker in something like co-op, and then you can like manipulate your card draw speed by getting like your co-op meter up to like 50% or higher, then it proves to be very, very beneficial. And you get your Rising Rush fast because once you transform, you do reload all your cards. Overall, he's just extremely good for this event, right? I definitely recommend him. And the reason why he actually makes number 2 is because he's been out for a very long time. Or not a very, very long time, but he's not like brand new or anything like that. He's definitely a very viable unit and someone that I consider to be more on the free-to-play friendly side. I know there might be some of you guys watching this and like, dude, I still don't even have that guy. I understand that completely. I barely pulled this guy recently. I only have this guy at 2 stars, man. So I completely understand. But that's the reason why he gets number 2 for me, because he is definitely not too difficult to obtain at this point in time. I feel like he's been around for a while. I suspect that a lot of you guys might have him, right? Especially if you guys summon on the Gogeta banner. That's actually where I got this guy from the Gogeta banner. So instead of Gogeta, I got this guy. And, and he really gets the job done. Like, I'm going to be real honest with you guys. He really cleans up house. All right, and before we announce our number 1 pick here, I want to go ahead and take this moment to issue out a PSA. So yes, at the beginning of the video, I said God Key and Fusion Warrior are the tags that you are going to want for this event, right? Yes, but you want type advantage, because if you look at Fusion Warriors, they only got Gogeta with the yellow God Key. tag, right? Or with the yellow fusion, or the God Key / Fusion Warrior tag. The only other one that has the God Key Fusion Warrior tag is this bad boy right here, the Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan Vegito. Please do not bring this guy into the co-op. Yes, I know he gets 2 of the tags. You know, you guys might be able to still beat it with Vegito Blue. That's fine, but you are gonna get disbanded, like, for sure. If I see you with a Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan Vegito Blue, if I see you with them at 14 stars, I'm going to disband. Dude, that Broly is no joke. He hits so hard. I've seen him wipe out Gogetas. I've seen him wipe out my own units, and we're at type advantage, right? So imagine with a type, he wouldn't have type disadvantage, but he would be type neutral. So I really don't think that's the move. Please do not bring Vegito Blue into co-op.
Number 1.
Alrighty, so number 1. So we have Beerus. Dude, I know you guys are thinking, like, what? Beerus and EX units as your number 1? Like, this guy's trash. Dude, Azteek is trash, dude. His opinions are awful. Okay, hear me out first. Hear me out, man. This guy's actually not bad at all for the reason, and like I said, my scale is going to be a little bit different because I want to, I basically base my scale off of more free-to-play friendliness, and this guy definitely fits that description, right? Because he's had multiple events where you can get this guy Z power. He's had events where, like, you can grind it, like, with energy. He's been around for so long. I have him at Red Star 1, and I'm sure, like, you guys may have him higher. I definitely do for him. I do think for him to actually be viable for this, he does need to be at 6 stars, unfortunately. But just because of the fact that I never really had to chase after this guy, I never had to pull for this guy, he just naturally came into my box, right? Unlike any of the others that I have listed on this list. All of the other characters I had to actually summon for, I actually had to chase them, right? And then, so for this guy, he has a really good, like, he has, like, a decent kit, right? So he actually gets stronger over time, so his blast damage actually increases according to the number of timer counts that have elapsed. So after 15 timer counts, he gets 60% to blast damage, right? That's pretty good. And then he also has another passive ability that he gets plus 20% to damage inflicted for 15 timer counts when the enemy uses a strike or a blast card while he's on the field. So every time Broly uses a card, you're getting a damage stack. And what did I just say about the transforming Vegito earlier? Damage stacking is amazing. It's so good. It's huge, right? And then also too, on top of that, let's look at his tags for a second here. So he has God Key and he has Powerful Opponent. So he actually has 2. He has 2 tags. Like I said, the main ones are Fusion Warrior and God Key. Those are the best ones, right? But Powerful Opponent is right up there too. It's Powerful Opponent. Sagas from the movies is definitely the worst one. Powerful Opponent is like the one in the middle. So, you know, that's pretty good for him to have God Key and Powerful Opponent. It's honestly a true shame because a lot of people actually disband on me while using this Beerus. But this Beerus is actually really good. I feel like he's extremely underrated. If you guys have him and haven't used him in this co-op, definitely use him and let me know what you guys think, because I really do think he's an underrated unit for this. I really do think he puts in work against this Broly boss. And out of my whole list, I only have Beerus, the Transforming Vegito, and Champa. And I've used all of those guys, and I prefer Beerus over all of them. Like I said, you know, your mileage may vary. You guys may have more stars on Champa and want to opt into bringing Champa. You guys may have more stars on Transforming Vegito and may want to opt into bringing in Transforming Vegito. If you guys have a Vegeta Blue, obviously that's a no-brainer, right? But this guy, if you guys don't have any of those guys, you guys are struggling with this event, I really think that this guy is the way to go. Sometimes he gets melted, right? You have to kind of like count on your buddy to help you out there. But I really think this guy is extremely good for this event. So, that being said, those are my top 5 units for this event, for this Broly co-op boss. Let me know what you guys think. I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.